All right, we come to the fifth type of problem that we're working with here. A sales representative is paid the same annual base salary plus a standard commission of a certain percentage of the sales they make during the year. So they get a certain amount of money regardless of how much they sell. Then they get a percentage of their total sales. So the first year, the representative earned $45,000 and sold $50,000 worth of product. Now, if you jump down to the last sentence there, which I think is helpful sometimes, what is it that we're trying to find here? What is the base pay and what is the commission rate that she should expect for that position? All right, so what happens is that we get a formula that looks something like this. Base pay plus the total sales times the commission percent is going to equal the total pay. So you get a certain amount regardless. Do we know how much that is? That's one of the things that we're trying to figure out. Then, second, we have total sales times the commission percent. Well, in the first year, you have to be careful. It says the representative earned $45,000 and sold $50,000 worth of products. Well, that earned $45,000 is not the base pay. That is going to be the total pay for that year. So we don't know what the base pay is, but we do know how much the person sold that year. They sold $50,000 worth of products. Now, we don't know, we need to multiply that by the commission percent. So we're going to call the commission percent Y here, and the base pay X here. So we have one equation. Now, this is slightly different from the other types of problems. It's really a new type of problem. And it says that in the second year, so you have a first year, and you have a second year. In the second year, sales, she was told that in the second year, sales double on average. So what does that mean? Instead of selling $50,000, she should expect to sell $100,000 worth of products. We still don't know what the commission is, and we still don't know what the base pay is. But we're told that she could expect an annual earnings of $55,000 at that point. So what we end up with here then is two equations. And unlike the previous examples that were more easily solved by the substitution method, this particular problem is going to be most easily solved by the addition or the elimination method. And so what we're going to simply do here is we're going to take that first equation and multiply both sides of it by -1. And when we do that, we're going to end up with this resulting system. I'll put the second equation first, since that's going to have larger numbers. X plus 100,000 Y is equal to 55,000. And then negative X, we have to distribute that to everything, minus 50,000 Y is equal to negative 45,000. Now we're simply going to use the addition method, which says add down. The x's are going to zero out, and we'll have 50,000 Y is equal to 10,000, dividing both sides by 50,000. And what we really end up with here is Y is equal to 0.2. And what is Y? That is going to be our commission percent, 0.2 or 20%. So if the question asks for the percent, you have to say it's 20%. the value that we get here is 0.2, which is equivalent to 20%. Now, what we're going to need to do then is to figure out what x was. So, to figure out what x is, we're going to have to take either one of our equations. Let's take the second one. So x plus 100,000 times 0.2 has to equal 55,000. We're going to use our calculator, and we get 100, make sure you get the right number of zeros, times 0.2 is 20,000. So x plus 20,000 equals 55,000. Subtracting 20,000, we get x is equal to 35,000. And what is x? X is our base pay. And so now we have our formula, our total formula here. So I'm going to scroll down just a little. And that tells us that 35,000 base pay plus 0.2 times the sales has to equal the total pay. So since we used the $100,000 equation to solve for x, we should really use the other equation, the $50,000 equation, to solve for y. So if we, or to double check our answer here. So if we have 35,000 plus 0.2 times 50,000, we should get 45,000 as an answer. So let's bring our calculator in. We have 50,000 times 0.2 is equal to 10,000. So 35,000 plus 10,000, that equals 45,000. So 45,000 equals 45,000, and that checks, so we know that we have the correct solution in this case. Alright, so this one was a very different type of a problem. We had a completely unrelated x and y quantities. It wasn't so many of this type of seat and so many of that type of seat. It was the base pay, which is in dollars, and the commission percent, which is just a percentage. It doesn't have any units of measure to it. So we'll stop this video at this point. You can check the PDF with the written out solutions, or you can replay the video to go over this again.